Mr. How long have you known Mr. Gein?
7 years.
7 years. What kind of a man did you know him as?
Well, a man, he's a nice man, just like anybody else. The only difference I'd say in the man, he seems to be a little hot.
I swear, I heard clear as day. And then...
No, man. I didn't hear anything.
Life, Chad.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Chad. Oh man. Oh, it's flying, man. Oh no, it's flying. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Chad. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. What? Jesus, what? There was no way, Chad, that I set that off. Things are wrong. I'm freaking out right now, Chad. I do not know what to do right now. I have chills right now, Chad. In November of 1957, America was shaken to its core when some of the most disturbing crimes in our nation's history were brought to light. The crimes of the butcher of Plainfield, Wisconsin, Ed Gein. Ed Gein was born in August of 1906 and went on to become known for stealing bodies from graves and using those bodies to craft decorations for his house of horrors, including bowls made from skulls, furniture upholstered with a human skin, a belt made of nipples, bags filled with female genitalia, the makings of a skin suit compiled of female skin, and the remains of missing victims Mary Hogan and Bernice Worden. Before this house of horrors was discovered, Gein lived on a farm with his mother, who he famously obsessed over, until she died, leaving him alone to descend into madness. The locals liked Ed. He helped them with their handyman projects, even babysat their children, all while redecorating his house with human remains and committing murders. Gein's arrest came as a result of his visit to Worden's Hardware, where he murdered Bernice Worden and brought her back to his house. When police arrived, they found Bernice's headless body hanging like a gutted deer. Ed Gein's murderous house of horrors was burned to the ground by locals. Ed was declared insane and lived his life in a mental institution, and the town of Plainfield was never the same again. I'm so terrified right now.
Look at this road, man.
I have a, pain in my stomach.
Yeah, look at this road we're on right now. Look how narrow it is. Like, I literally have to go...
These are the roads we kind of look for, man, you know?
I know.
But this line of woods right here, it's where the Gein farm was. We're on the border of it right now. In these woods, deep in these woods, heinous acts are being committed. Crimes against humanity, things that are unthinkable. Here it is, Draggonites. The driveway to where the Gein farmhouse was. You can see it's all grass now, but it's here. We're gonna go back.
Dude, I'm feeling creeped out.
Are you feeling it?
I am.
My stomach feels pretty tight. The feeling in this location where the Gein house stood is it's extremely difficult to describe. Chad and I often joke, and you've probably heard us say during several episodes, that we feel like we're in a Texas Chainsaw situation. Right now, truly we are. What was based off the Gein story in Texas Chainsaw was the house full of all these macabre things, lampshades made out of skin, chairs upholstered with skin. He used bowls made out of human skulls for his soup at night. He would dress up like his mother and parade around. And to be here on this land right now, it's enough to send chills down your spine. It's beautiful. The sun is starting to set. The birds are chirping. It's just gorgeous out. But to know that what happened on this land happened so many years ago, it's really kind of unsettling. It makes your stomach kind of turn a bit. But is the spirit of Ed Gein still here? And are we brave enough to find out? And what do we do when we find out he is? Ed Gein's first victim was 51-year-old Mary Hogan. Right now I'm standing on the site where Mary Hogan's tavern was. And it was at this tavern in 1954 that Ed Gein came in one day, and being the nice guy he is, he shot her in the head with a revolver. He then loaded her in his pickup truck and drove her 6 miles back to Plainfield, where he did what he did. She was a missing person from 1954 to 1957. In 1957, he was arrested for the murder of Bernice Warden, and when they were searching his house, they found Mary Hogan. But all they found was her face in a bag. He had made a mask out of her face, and that's how she finally ended her missing persons case. One story goes that a group of men were discussing Mary Hogan's strange disappearance when Ed spoke up and said, "She's not missing. She's down at the house now." The men just dismissed it as a bizarre joke and said, "Oh, that's just old Ed being Ed." Little did they know, her head was sitting in a bag in his house. Right now I'm sitting in a spot that makes me feel more uneasy than any of the Gein locations that we've checked out so far. This right here is the Gein family cemetery area plot. And you can see his brother, his mother who he is obsessed with, and his father. This is where Ed himself is buried, right under my feet. It's hard to believe. Obviously his tombstone has been taken, so now it just sits an unmarked grave next to his family. Everyone who was important to him, and he lived back in the woods, right?
Yeah.
And all of these people who were important to him, you said just a second ago, died in a matter of 5 years.
Everybody that he knew died in a matter of 5 years, which could have been a lot of the reason why he was the way he was.
For someone with an already fragile mind, someone who is already not right, to be living in seclusion and then to lose everyone who's important to him, especially his mom who he's obsessed with, and he might have even killed his brother.
Yeah.
So I can certainly see why he was not able to stay in this reality and he just went insane.
It's crazy to think about, man.
What do you feel being right here, Chad?
It feels eerie, doesn't it?
It does feel
It just
eerie.
feels crazy that we're this close to a guy that committed those murders and all those horrible things, you know?
Bernice Warden, born 1899, died 1957. She was the final victim of the butcher of Plainfield. Ed Gein brutally murdered her, and they found her gutted like a deer hanging in his shed. Now, I stand outside of her grave, her tombstone, paying our respects. And the Ed Gein burial site is just where you're at right now. That close. They were buried that close to each other, a stone's throw away from the person who brutally murdered her. She didn't deserve it. Nobody did. But it's hard to believe that they're still this close, even in death. Our daytime tour of Plainfield and all of the Ed Gein sites was coming to an end as the sun went down and night approached. As we've mentioned, the heinous Ed Gein story had a huge effect on pop culture and led to the making of several different movies that are famous. Texas Chainsaw, Silence of the Lambs, and first and foremost, Psycho. Now, we thought it was fitting that for our night in Plainfield, we'd stay in something that's kind of like the Bates Motel. Seems like it's the perfect fit for a night in Plainfield, where Psycho was inspired. at the Gein driveway where the farm used to be, the house. Chad and I just hiked at least a half mile. It's about 1 a.m, and the whole walk here we just talked about how we don't know that we've ever been this scared walking outside at night. There's just a feeling here, just knowing what happened in these woods, but we're ready to start, so we're gonna head down the driveway into the side of the house where everything happened.
Man, I'm feeling pretty bad right now.
Are you, man? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good to go, but it feels terrible.
Yeah. Alright, man, I need you with me.
Yep, I'm with you. Let's do it.
Dude, this is the driveway he drove bodies down, man.
While we certainly aren't saying that a little distortion in our audio or a stick breaking in the distance is any sort of hard paranormal evidence, sometimes it's the timing of them that stands out to us. In this case, Travis and I had been standing on the edge of the Gein property for several minutes before filming. What makes the audio cracking in our microphone and branch breaking in the distance strange is that they seem to happen simultaneously as soon as we officially step foot on the property. The distortion continues throughout the investigation and seems to intensify the further we get onto the property.
Dude, this is the driveway he drove bodies down, man. Dragonites, we do the best we can to help you see what we're seeing with the night vision and the lighting and the infrared lights, all that. I can't explain the knots that are in my stomach. Like, this might seem like no big deal to you guys, but when you're here, when you're standing here next to one of the most vile crime scenes in history, and all you can see is the light through the trees. Whew. This might sound lame, but it feels like dark back here, you know, like, not dark like because we're in the woods, obviously it's that dark, man, but just the energy, it's like, just knowing what happened, man.
Puts off a negative vibe.
Yeah. Dude, the grass is getting long.
Yeah, it is.
Was that me or you?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
It almost sounded like a squeaky door or something, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Are you hearing anything, or is it just me? Maybe like drips of water.
Could be, yeah.
This is it, man. I'm so on edge. I know I've said this a million times, I can't wrap around my mind how we always go to these places and we say, oh, we're gonna end up in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the site that inspired that whole thing, man. If anywhere it could happen, it's a place like this. That's scary.
You really underestimate it until you're here, you know?
Yeah.
I'm getting like really bad, like chills right now, man.
Dude, like, we went to the cemetery. He used to, like, you've said this a couple times tonight off camera. I can't believe he went to cemeteries, man. Put bodies in there and brought them back here. What a perfect place to possibly be haunted, man. Like all these, you know, stirred up, like old energy and things like that. Are you alright, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm just kind of worked up right now for some reason.
Am I getting you scared, man?
No, I'm just...
Do you want to switch?
I know this doesn't relate to what we're doing right now. But it's so quiet out, man. I just keep getting bad thoughts about, like... I know this is gonna sound childish, man. I keep getting bad thoughts about, like, a serial killer just, like, screaming, running at us.
Oh my gosh.
It makes me feel right, like, real bad.
Thanks
right
for
now.
saying that, man. I'm like freaking out now.
Like and then running right towards us or something, man.
We'd be so off guard, man. Wouldn't be the first
a serial killer in this spot. There's something back there, Travis. I know, man. You think it might have been a deer or something? I'm hoping so. Yeah, dude. Something with some mass. Yeah, it had some size to it. We're recording?
We're recording.
All right. Our names are Travis and Chad. We are respectful men who mean no harm or disrespect. If there is a spirit out here that wishes to communicate, you can speak into our recorder. Ed Gein, are you out here?
It's a terrible question.
I know, man. Bernice and Mary and any of the people whose graves were robbed. If you're out here, do you have anything to say? A message that you want to deliver?
Hey, man. Our recorder just stopped recording.
Really?
Like I looked down and it said 0. So it's not recording.
It didn't record any of that?
It recorded. It was recording when I hit it. And then I just looked down at it to check it, and it had stopped recording.
Do you know when we said, or when it stopped?
I immediately begin replaying the audio on the voice recorder to see when it stopped recording, and while we didn't capture any voices, it cuts out shortly after Travis asks if Bernice Warden or Mary Hogan had a message they would like to deliver.
Bernice and Mary and any of the people whose graves were robbed. If you're out here, do you have anything to say? A message that you want to deliver?
All we know is things seem to intensify as we're listening. Could this audio interruption be an attempt to communicate from one of the spirits that roam this property?
Dude, I kind of felt like I just saw some sort of weird, like, light anomaly. I don't know, man, I'm just... Did you hear that knocking over there? Huh? Why did you do it?
I got straight chills, man.
Is there a spirit out here? Is there a spirit out here? Are you hearing that? I heard that, man. Hey,
I need the light over there, man. I can't see.
what is your name?
Travis, my heart is beating out of my chest right
Hold
now.
on, man. Stay cool, man. Don't put it on me.
I'm not gonna... Real quick, man. I just think this is really important. Where are we gonna run if we have to?
I almost think, honestly, man, down that way. Yeah, down that path, and then, like, cut to the road.
Yep.
Or, man, we could probably...
I'm having a hard time over here, man.
Dude, I'm nervous, man.
I'm having a hard time, Travis.
I'm so nervous.
What do we do?
Guys, do you want to get out of here, man?
Travis, I can't lie. I'm so ready for someone to just walk out of there right now. Like it wouldn't surprise me to see it right now.
We're about to head to Wisconsin. We know we got a long trip ahead of us, so we had to stop at to pick up a bunch of snacks. You know, I wish we could tell you what our ghost hunting snacks of choice were going to be for this trip, but, you know, because of copyright stuff, we can't tell you that we bought... yeah, we got... Chad got some for himself for breakfast.
Made by
yeah, we picked up... we picked orange juice. We bought Dots. What else did we get? We got...
all name brand stuff, I'm pretty sure.
All name brand stuff, a lot of good stuff. So we should be good to go, and we're ready for all of our snacking. All right, let's hit the road.